From the last part of episode 1 of Modeling 101, we learned how to build a Gunpla out of the box. As I said, if you only want to assemble the Gunpla out of the box, all you need is a hobby nipper and a craft knife. So now the question is, which tools should you get? Well, lucky for you, I have collected some of the most common hobby nippers on the market. Now I will make a thorough comparison between them all. Before we start, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, GundamHangar.com. GundamHangar.com is a Canadian web shop that aims to offer you the best price for Bandai exclusive Gunpla. Aside from Gunpla, more plastic waifu and hobby accessories and tools are on the way. You can get most of the tools in this video on their website, link in descriptions. Now, let us get back to the comparison. There are two types of hobby nippers on the market, double-bladed nippers and single-bladed nippers. As the name suggests, the double-bladed nippers have one blade on each side. When we perform a cut, both sides squeezes the gate until the Gunpla piece is off the runner. As a result, the nub mark becomes uneven, and the plastic often deforms because of the distributions of forces. The double-bladed nippers are usually on the cheaper side of the spectrum. Hobby tool makers soon recognized this problem. As a solution, they invented something called the single-bladed nipper. Just like how it sounds, the single-bladed nipper only has one blade edge. The other side of the nipper is unsharpened, and it serves as a surface to push the gate. When you perform the cut, only the blade edge makes the cutting action, resulting in a way cleaner surface. While single-bladed nippers sounds like the clear winner here, they also have some problems. As a result of performing the perfect cut, the blade side is super thin, which causes low durability. While they are the best at getting rid of the nub mark, never use them to cut thick plastics or other materials. I have seen many horror stories on the internet of broken single-bladed nippers. Also, since they are more expensive, it is heartbreaking when it breaks. On the other hand, double-bladed nippers are more durable and you can perform heavier construction works with them. For this review, I have 4 double-bladed nippers and 2 single-bladed nippers. Among all the nippers, these are the nippers I use, and those are the brand new nippers you can buy from GundamHangar.com. I have not unboxed these nippers yet, so this is also a first time impression from me. Let's start with the double-bladed nippers first. This hobby nipper is from Tamiya. I bought this back in 2010. Back in the old days, these nippers are called Scythe cutters. I have been using this for more than a decade. It is made of carbon steel and it has a comfortable ergonomic design. After 11 years, it still works like a charm. However, there are chips here and there. These are not from cutting plastic. I was being an idiot and I was using it to cut all kinds of random things at once. I bought this one for about $20 11 years ago. The minor damage on the Tamiya blade was why I got my second pair of nipper. I got this Mineshima Premium Thin Blade Nipper during my Japan trip in 2019. Not too long ago, I thought single-bladed nipper was just a waste of money. So I went for a double-bladed nipper as my first upgrade. When I saw this nipper on sale in one of the shops at Akihabara, I just bought it. As the packaging suggests, this nipper can cut 3mm in diameter of plastic. I have been personally using this and it is great. It is made of high carbon steel. It should be more durable than my first one. I'm not sure if you can buy this nipper here in North America, but it is a decent hobby nipper, and as a reference in price, I got it for 1,505 Japanese yen. Next, we have the hobby nipper by Bandai themselves. They advertise this nipper for its perfect precision, angle, durability, and ergonomic design. This nipper costs about $29 Canadian. Again, this is made with high carbon steel. Lastly, we have the GundamHangar PN125. GundamHangar is a brand that first introduced the single-bladed nippers to the market. They are kind of known as the expensive brand in the hobby. However, their entry-level nipper is surprisingly affordable for about $16 Canadian. On the cover, it also shows the sharpness level of 3 stars. This nipper is made with tool steel. Now, I will open all the nippers and test them on the same runner. Which one do you like more? Let me know in the comments. I will give my final suggestion at the very end. Now, to single-bladed nippers. The way we used a single-bladed nipper is the same as the double-bladed nipper. You make the first cut distancing the gate from the Gunpla piece and the second cut to trim the nubs. Since single-bladed nippers are more fragile, a safer way is to make the first cut using the double-bladed nipper and then the nub mark with the single-bladed nipper. This is Dispay's single blade nipper 2.0. I have been using this for about 2 years. I bought this before Dispay started expanding, and this is one of their earlier tools. When I bought this, they also included an anti-rust oil spray, which is super helpful with maintenance. Inside this set, you also get a nipper cover and a tool to adjust the tightness of the nipper. Dispay has upgraded their nippers to 3.0 now, and I think 2.0 is discontinued. I bought this set for 168 RMB, which is about $33 Canadian. This is a huge steal. I don't think you can find a nipper at this price point anymore. The 3.0 costs about $56 Canadian. A major upgrade of the 3.0 version is a mirror finish, which make the cut even smoother. Once again, this tool is made with steel. Dispay did not specify what kind of steel. Lastly, we have the most expensive nipper in the house, the GundamHangar SPN 120. You can see from the gold trims and 5-star rating to understand how godly this is. The kanji on the nipper cover means extreme. It also has a verified watermark to prove its official standing. This nipper cost a whopping $90. According to the package, this nipper has been hand sharpened by an experienced craftsman, and it was made so that it minimizes whitening when you cut off the parts from the runner. Once again, I will put these two in comparison. Which one do you like more? There isn't a lot of restrictions when it comes to craft knives, from the cheapest one at a dollar store to the ones made by hobby brands. The more expensive blades are usually sharper and they last longer, while the less expensive ones chip and crack more often. I'm currently using the OFA blade set I brought during my Japan trip, but I have also used random ones in the past. The only thing you need to know is that a 45 degrees blade is usually easier for this hobby. If you want one, you can check out Mr. Design Knives from GundamHangar. They only cost about $8 Canadian, and it comes with 4 extra blades. So, here's my conclusion. I made a few assumptions about how much you want to spend. Of course, this is not the perfect answer, but I think it is decent enough to serve as a reference guide. If you want to spend the absolute minimum, you should just grab a wire cutter. They cost around $9 Canadian on Amazon, and I have seen them cheaper. They tend to slide when you use them for plastic models, but they do their job, and as long as you have the patience to clean the mess, go for it. Of course, you will still need a craft knife to help you out. This is not super recommended because you can grab a standard hobby nipper for just a few more dollars. Next, I recommend the entry-level hobby nipper and the craft knives for those who want to try out Gunpla for the first time in their life. I personally started this setup ever since I was 4 years old. There isn't much change or recommendation of the double-bladed nipper and the craft knife combination. Based on the price, cut quality, and comforts, I will not recommend the Tamiya Side Cutter Alpha. Inflation has made this nipper cost twice as much. Cut quality is not on top of the game, and it takes more effort to make the same cut. This leaves us between the GundamHangar, Minishima, and Bandai double-bladed nippers. To my surprise, the Bandai build-up nipper performed really well. The blade does not slide from the gate, and the feedback is precise. Out of all the double-bladed nippers, the Bandai build-up nipper have the most accurate cut with the least effort. I personally use the Minishima Premium Thin Blade Nipper. The cut quality is better than the entry-grade GundamHangar PN125, but it does have a minimum slide on runner. So does PN125, but it's cheaper. It's a little hard to find this nipper in North America. I would only recommend it if you can find one for around $20. That leaves us with the GundamHangar PN125 and Bandai build-up nipper. If you're determined to build more Gunpla kits but do not want to spend $50 or more on a nipper, I recommend the Bandai build-up nipper and craft knife set. The build-up nipper is a little pricey in comparison, but it has a better durability, precise cuts, and a more comfortable grip. If you're okay with spending more money on tools and wants to save some time, then I recommend the single-bladed nippers. For a safer pick, I also suggest adding a double-bladed nipper with it, especially if you're getting a GundamHangar SPN 120 nipper. You can only buy a single-bladed nipper by itself if you want to, but never ever cut plastic more than 3mm in diameter with it. Even if you're getting the single-bladed nippers alone, using a craft knife to shave off the tiny excess of nub marks is still still recommend it. To conclude, if you want the ultimate experience, buy one of the double blade nippers, GundamHangar SPN-120 and a craft knife. If you're confident, just get the craft knife and either the Display or GundamHangar SPN-120. In terms of Display or GundamHangar single bladed nippers, I do think the GundamHangar has a way better quality and the cuts are just a little cleaner. In my personal experience, I think the $90 price tag is very worth it. But if you don't want to spend this much, then you should just get the Display single bladed nipper. You get roughly around 70 to 80% of the same experience, and I believe craft knife is more relevant for Display. That is pretty much it. I hope you learned something from this video. Let me know in the comments which tool you're planning to get. Lastly, I also want to mention that tools are just tools. The quality of your model does not depend on them, but on you as the modeler. Using a lower quality tool does not mean you or your work will be inferior. Try not to judge or get into toxic discussion of other people's tools. Instead, try to make things work with the tools around you, as a true modeler with craftsmanship. So hopefully, from following this video, you end up with a build like this one in front of you. If that is all you want, you can stop after this episode. However, for many modelers out there, this is only the beginning. For the next couple of episodes, I will teach you skills to improve the quality of your stray build. Eventually, you will get into customization and more. So please like this video and subscribe to this channel. I will take you on this beautiful journey in the world of Gunpla. You can follow my Instagram and Twitter for almost daily updates. And if you want to show some extra care, my Patreon is up and running. I will be sharing some exclusive Patreon-only content over there. Thank you for watching. Scythe here. I will see you next time.